time zone than we are here in the US. And they announced that both The Legend of Zelda for Wii U and the NX are both going to be delayed until 2017. As I posted on Allegro. First one
Number 5
is Little Nemo the Dream Master. Now, by the look of the box art of the game, so let me tell you a little bit about Golf. Golf is a sports simulation video game released in 1984 for the NES.
Hey everybody, it's Jeff here of NVG Games, back for another episode of the Ncast, our live weekly Nintendo podcast. This is Ncast episode 15, the Tennis podcast. Trying to fix something here, just bear with me a moment. Not sure if this stream is working correctly. Well, it's showing up here. Okay, good. Weird. Well, anyway. I tried to embed it on our podcast chat page and it's not cooperating, so don't know why that is. But anyways, we are going to get started here. So Tennis is a sports game released for the NES and Famicom, of course. Famicom Disk System. And it was released in North America and Europe as one of the 18 launch games for the NES, and the Game Boy version was also released. The game features single-player and two-player modes for singles and doubles matches with either competitive or cooperative gameplay. The computerized opponent's artificial intelligence can be set to 1 of 5 difficulty levels, and Mario referees the matches. In 1985, Hudson Soft published Tennis for the PC 8801. It was also included in the Nintendo Versus System series under the name Versus Tennis. Nintendo ported the game to the Game Boy in 1989 and to the Nintendo e-reader in 2002. The original version is embedded in the life simulation game Animal Crossing and features in the party video game WarioWare Twisted as one of 9 volts minigames. For the Virtual Console, Nintendo republished the Famicom/NES version of Tennis to the Wii in 2006 and the Wii U in 2013, and the Game Boy version to the Nintendo 3DS in 2011. It was developed by Nintendo R&D 1 and Intelligent Systems. It was published by Nintendo. In Japan, the PC-88 version was published by Hudson Soft. It's been released on the NES, the PC-88, the PlayChoice 10, the Sharp X1, the Famicom Disk System, the Game Boy, and the Nintendo e-reader. The Japanese Famicom version came out on January 14th, 1984. North America came out on the NES October 18th, 1985, and Europe came out on September 1st, 1986. PC-88 came out in Japan in June 1985. Sharp X1 in Japan in 1985, Famicom Disk System in Japan on February 21st, 1986, the Game Boy in Japan on May 29th, 1989, in North America in August 1989, in PAL territories in 1990, on the Nintendo e-reader for Game Boy Advance in North America on September 16th, 2002, on Virtual Console, the NES version came out on Wii in Japan on December 2nd, 2006, North America December 18th, 2006, and PAL territories December 22nd, 2006. The Game Boy version came out on the 3DS Virtual Console in Europe on June 7th, 2011, in North America June 23rd, 2011, and Japan on July 20th, 2011. The NES version came out on Wii U Virtual Console in North America on October 10th, 2013, and also in Europe that same day, and in Japan on October 30th, 2013. It's a sports game, also tennis is the sport, and it has single-player and multiplayer modes. So what is coming out this week for releases? Well, coming out on the 21st in North America on Wii U is a game called Hot Rod Racer. And in Japan on the 20th of July is Super Robo Mouse on Wii U. On Nintendo 3DS in Japan on the 20th of July is Ankatsu Stars First Appeal and Hyoko Mamui. And on the 21st in Japan on the 3DS is Sumiko Garashi Mura Asukuru Nindesu. I probably butchered the pronunciation, but anyways, you can check those out in Game FAQs if you want to see the spelling or more details. Oops, clicked the wrong button, sorry about that. I pull up my stuff here. I accidentally clicked the show desktop button on my computer, not good. Okay, so then on Nintendo 3DS, we're getting a new accessory. This is the Gold Pikachu Protector Case for the 3DS XL from Power A, scheduled to be released on the 21st of July. And that is it for the releases for next week, all that's been announced so far. Of course, there'll be new releases on the eShop and whatnot for Europe and North America and Japan as well, but those have not been announced thus far that I know of. So moving on to the news for the week, we have the European Nintendo download for you, as usual. What did Europe get this week? Well, on the Wii U eShop, they got Tumblestone. That came out on the 12th of July. Tumblestone is the first original action puzzle game of the past 15 years. Race your friends in multiplayer or challenge yourself in story mode. Solve progressively more difficult and creative puzzles. Help a sausage make friends. Find out what happened to the Tumble Crown. Tumblestone completely reinvents the match 3 genre into a deep and cerebral puzzle-solving experience that you won't forget. We also got Bit Dungeon Plus. Bit Dungeon Plus is a 2-player action roguelike of endless adventure. You and your loved one were captured by demons. You have been trapped in a dungeon for 1,000 years asleep. You wake up trapped in a cell, grab your weapon, and let the quest to find her soul begin. Explore randomized dungeons and hack and slash your way through dangerous bosses. The difficulty increases as you become stronger and stronger. Build your character how you want with deadly passive abilities. You also got Dracula's Legacy. Haunted by frightening dreams about her forgotten past, Isabella, along with her fiancé, travels to an old ghost town. The only clue to her origins is that she has been able to dredge from the depths of her lost memories. At the start of the dangerous journey, a terrifying creature attacks the pair, and Isabella barely manages to escape with her life by fleeing into the dungeons buried deep beneath the town, where the deadly vampires lurk. Now it is up to you. Help Isabella as she tries to find her way out, reach the mysterious city of lost souls, and rescue her fiancé. We also got Hurry Up, Bird Hunter. Hurry up, time flies! Hunt as many birds as possible before the time runs out. With several different types of objectives, you are given a unique and challenging variety from start to finish. Look, aim, and fire. Feel like a real hunter thanks to the precision of the Wii Remote and Wii Zapper. It is also compatible with the Wii U gamepad that supports off-TV mode. They also got Jackpot 777. Spin the wheel! It's time to try your luck in Jackpot 777. Realistic slot machine game with simple controls and endless fun. Bet 1 credit or go for a big win with the max bet. Winning combinations include sevens, fruit, bars, and more. Classic slot machine action at its best. They also got a special demo version for Star Fox Guard. Try the free demo of Star Fox Guard. Take camera controls to a whole new level and protect Grippy Toad's mining site in Star Fox Guard, only on Wii U. Use 12 cameras, setting them up in various locations to find and attack any enemies that approach the mining site. Use the television screen and Wii U gamepad in tandem to work out where the enemies are, then blast them away. Saved data from the demo can be carried over to the full version so tacticians can pick up where they left off. They also got Star Fox Zero, The Battle Begins, plus Training. The Battle Begins is an animated short film starring the beloved characters from Star Fox Zero. It was produced in collaboration with Shigeru Miyamoto, Production IG, and WIT Studio. To prepare for the battle of Star Fox Zero, you can also play 4 training missions. The R-Wing, Landmaster, Walker, and Gyro Wing are available. Join Fox, Falco, Peppy, and Slippy as they fight in Star Fox Zero to protect the Lylat system from Andross's evil army. We also have the North American Nintendo download for you this week, as usual. What did we get? Well, on the Wii U eShop, we got Tumblestone. Tumblestone transforms the action puzzle genre into a deep and cerebral puzzle-solving experience. Race your friends in both local and online multiplayer, or challenge yourself in the story mode or infinite arcade modes. On the Wii U Virtual Console, we got Bonk's Adventure. An old-school side-scrolling TurboGrafx-16 action game is now on the Wii U console. Gameplay is simple, just headbutt your enemies as you progress through each stage. Try to keep Bonk from losing any lives while attacking enemies and avoiding hazardous obstacles. We also got New Adventure Island. In this Turbo 16 adventure, Master Higgins must set out to rescue children and his beloved Tina. Throw hatchets and boomerangs, hop on skateboards, and guide Master Higgins safely to the goal in each area. We also got R-Type. This is also a TurboGrafx-16 title. This is a completely faithful port, right down to the character details, of the famous shooting game masterpiece. Destroy the POW armor, and one of 6 different units will appear. which you can then use to power up your R9 ship to get ready for the epic bosses at the end of each stage. We also got Wii U eShop sales for Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition, Ollie Ollie, and miscellaneous titles from Curve Digital. And we have also releases for Wii U this week for Chroma Blast, Jackpot 777, and Reptilian Rebellion. I forgot to finish up the European Nintendo download. I apologize for that. But we'll finish up the North American one and come back to that. So, North America, we also got on the 3DS eShop Monster Hunter Generations. On July 15th, get ready to hunt monsters in style with Monster Hunter Generations, exclusively for the Nintendo 3DS family of systems. Featuring 4 customizable Monster Hunt, full unique hunting styles, special hunter arts, abilities, and more, this is the most customizable Monster Hunter experience to date. We also got 7th Dragon 3, Code VFD. Fight dragons and experience the long-awaited series making its way out of Japan for the first time. Travel through 3 different eras with your team of dragon hunters and experience turn-based dungeon-crawling RPG action. On the 3DS Virtual Console, we got the Super Nintendo version of Final Fight. Fight your way through the slums and subway systems of Metro City in this beat-em-up arcade classic and first chapter of the Final Fight series. Play as Hagar or Cody and help them rescue the beautiful Jessica from the vile Mad Gear gang. We also got a bunch of Monster Hunter Generations themes. There's the Felines theme, the Glavenus theme, the Gamma theme, the Standard theme, the Astalos theme, and the Misusune theme. We also got eShop sales on the 3DS for Legend of the Dark Witch 2, Quell Memento, Azure Striker Gunvolt, Ollie Ollie, and miscellaneous titles from Circle Entertainment and Curve Digital. Our final 3DS release this week for North America is Journey to Cracia. Now going back to the European Nintendo download, I accidentally skipped some of the stuff in there. Sorry about that. On the Wii U eShop, they have sales for Ollie Ollie, Discovery, Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition, Ice Cream Surfer, Jones on Fire, Queen's Garden, Lone Survivor the Director's Cut, Nova 111, Pumped BMX Plus, Stealthing 2, A Game of Clones, The Swapper, Thomas Was Alone, Ultratron, and Stoneshire. On the 3DS eShop, Europe got Monster Hunter Generations. Is available as of yesterday. The hunt is about to begin in the world of Monster Hunter. Take up the role of a hunter seeking out and vanquishing a variety of colossal creatures. Or for the first time, choose to fight as a feline in Prowler mode and see the world through their little furry eyes. Customize your unique hunting style, weapon type, and choose from an array of devastating hunter arts for new powerful moves in battle. Hunt alone, offline, or with your fellow hunters, whether as a hunter or prowler, through local and online cooperative multiplayer. Happy hunting! Bonus for purchasing on Nintendo eShop, a download code for the exclusive Monster Hunter Generations that fitted for home menu theme for Nintendo 3DS. That offers valid until December 31st. I also got Disney Art Academy, that came out yesterday as well. Learn to draw dozens of Disney and Pixar characters in Disney Art Academy. You can use a wide variety of tools to learn to draw more than 80 Disney and Pixar characters in 2D. By setting your own pace through multiple easy-to-follow lessons, characters like Mickey Mouse, Nemo from Finding Nemo, Elsa from Frozen, Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story, and Simba from The Lion King come to life on your Nintendo 3DS. They also got Journey to Cracia. Become the savior from the Outer Realm and bring everlasting peace to Cracia in an epic fantasy RPG. While attempting to skip out on a homework assignment and meet up with his friends at the arcade, a teenager by the name of Eustace is suddenly enveloped in a blinding light and transported to Cracia, a world where fantasy meets reality. Soon after, he learns he has been summoned as a savior to deliver Cracia's people from the threat of the Overlord. Thinking everything happening around him is simply a dream, Eustace readily agrees to the task of saving the world and begins preparing for what is inevitably to be far more than he ever bargained for. They also got some new 3DS DLC for Fire Emblem Fates. This is the Witch's Trial, a carbon copy of Fear Mountain from Fire Emblem Gaiden, or the next best thing at any rate. It still features an army of witches warping all over the map. You won't be able to tell the difference, guaranteed. We also got the same home themes we got for Monster Hunter Generations. The Glavenus, Gamma, Astalos, Misusune theme, Felines theme, and the Standard theme. And they also got 3DS sales this week for 3D Mahjong, Garden Escapes, Birdo and the Titanic, Safari Quest, Ollie Ollie, Titan Attacks, Quell Memento, Legend of Dark Witch 2, Witch and Hero 2, and Tap and Go 2, which is not available in Germany. On new Nintendo 3DS Virtual Console, they got the Super Nintendo versions of Mega Man 7 and Mega Man X. Mega Man 7. Dr. Wily has finally been in prison, but Mega Man's fight is far from over. Wily's backup plan springs into action. 4 evil robots attack the city, the perfect distraction to make his escape. Mega Man and Rush are soon on Wily's trail, and so are Bass and Treble, another robot and canine companion. Who are these mysterious newcomers, and can they be trusted? Jump and blast your way through action-packed levels, face off against fiendish new bosses, discover hidden items and power-ups, and send Dr. Wily back behind bars. Mega Man X. When the Mega Man series made the technological leap from NES to Super NES, so too did Mega Man himself. Set 100 years after the original hero's adventures, Mega Man X stars a more powerful generation of robot known as X, who, along with the Maverick Zero, must take on a new threat, the Reploids. Like Mega Man, X must battle through each thrilling stage and defeat the boss to capture its weapon for his own. But unlike Mega Man, X can dash, climb walls, and collect armor to upgrade his abilities. And that is it for the Nintendo download for North America and Europe. That one was for Europe. So Nintendo announced a brand new system recently this past week, and that is a new NES console. Yes, an NES console in 2016, over 30 years after the original came out. And now, but there's a catch though, of course. This is going to be one of those plug-and-play type of things where it only comes with a limited number of games and you can't upgrade it any further. So basically, it's called the Nintendo Entertainment System NES Classic Edition. It doesn't work with existing games or any new ones that are made in the future. It doesn't support external hard drives, SD cards, or any other type of removable storage. And it only comes with 30 games pre-installed, and that's all it will ever have. They're not planning to upgrade it in the future so far that they've announced. They're not planning to offer anything. Now, it's possible that the homebrew/hacking community might be able to get something running on it, but that's not condoned or supported, of course. But Nintendo may, do a revised version of this if it sells well later on. Who knows? But as of right now, this is all it's going to ever be: is 30 different games. It's coming out on November 11th for a suggested retail price of $59.99, and it will include an HDMI cable, an AC adapter, and a controller that's been called the NES Classic Controller. And that has the same kind of plug that the Wii Classic Controller has, and it even has the same ports on the front of the system, which you can see over on our website at nvideogames.com. We have a picture of the system, which apparently fits in the palm of your hand, so it's very small, as well as the box art from the system and the NES Classic Controller. So there's several different games that are included. As I mentioned, there's 30 different games. Some of them are popular titles and some are not as popular, like one in particular that I'll mention. So in alphabetical order, they are Balloon Fight, Bubble Bobble, which is the one that I thought wasn't that popular, Castlevania, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, Donkey Kong Jr., Double Dragon 2, The Revenge, Dr. Mario, Excite Bike, Final Fantasy, Galaga, Ghosts and Goblins, Gradius, Ice Climber, Code Icarus, Kirby's Adventure, Mario Brothers, Mega Man 2, Metroid, Ninja Gaiden, Pac-Man, Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream, Star Tropics, Super C, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, Tecmo Bowl, The Legend of Zelda, and Zelda 2: The Adventure Link. You can also use the NES Classic Controller I mentioned to play Virtual Console NES games on Wii U or Wii, as the controller has the same port, like I said. And you'll be able to connect it to a Wii remote, I believe. And you can also use this controller with the new NES console to play multiplayer. So if you have a second controller, you can buy them separately for the MSRP of $9.99. You can play two-player games. And you can also use a regular Classic Controller or Classic Controller Pro, which are sold separately, of course, with the new system. According to the press release, the system will also have multiple suspend points, which is what it calls it, which are basically save states type of thing, and it's already present in some of the Virtual Console titles that are on 3DS and Wii U, for example. So you'll be able to do that for games that had save features or passwords or whatnot. So that's cool and handy. And Kotaku had a brief discussion with Nintendo about it, and they said it will not have any kind of online connectivity, so you won't be able to hook it up to the internet and download new games or updates or anything like that. And they also asked if Nintendo would do a new miniature SNES or N64, for example. Nintendo said they didn't have anything announced about that, but you'd think if the NES sells well, then they'll do the smart thing and make a Super Nintendo or N64 version as well. They also confirmed that the bay slot door doesn't open, so it's a little bit different from the original system like that. Europe is getting the same system as well, and also the same lineup of games, but the difference in Europe is theirs doesn't come with an AC adapter. It just comes with a USB cable. You can hook that up to any standard USB AC adapter you have, like one that would come with a cell phone, for example. So they're not including that in the European version. And you can check out the European box art on our website at nvgames.com, as well as the full press release talking about the whole thing. So speaking of unusual systems, this week a rare version of the US version of the Nintendo 64 DD or Nintendo 64 disk drive or 64 DD, whatever name you want to call it, was discovered by a man named Jason Lindsay. This story comes from Ars Technica and the Similar Games forums. And Jason Lindsay is also known as Metal Jesus Rocks, and he posted a video on his YouTube channel as well talking about the system and showing it off and showing what it looks like when it boots up. So apparently he acquired it from someone through Craigslist, from what I read, and it is actually a US version, and it's they're thinking it's a retail version of the US version of the system, which is interesting because the system never came out here in North America or Europe. It was only released in Japan, and it flopped in Japan, so Nintendo canceled plans to release it internationally. And the one that he got also comes with a blue disc which has unknown contents on it. It wouldn't work in a system, and it's unknown if it's, has a full game on it or just development code or what, but it's pretty interesting. You can check out some photos on our website at nvgames.com, as well as the video that Metal Jesus Rocks put out, or you can check that out over on his YouTube channel as well, where he goes into a lot more detail about it. And he talked to one of the people involved with Nintendo at the time, who was Mark DeLora. He used to work there as a support specialist, and as far as he knew, the dev kit versions of the system could not be booted, so he doesn't think this is a dev kit version. He thinks it's a retail version. And also the dev kit versions had blue plastic on the disc tray, and the version that Mr. Lindsay has does not have the blue plastic on the disc tray. It's black, like it's retail ready. And the bottom of the unit has a sticker that differs from the retail versions in Japan, and the boot screen is also in English. It's not in Japanese like the Japanese versions are, which is also an indication that it was made for the US market. So that's pretty interesting. So like I said, you can check out the more details about that over on our website at nvgames.com, as well as the images and video as well. So Pokemon Go has been a pretty big hit for Nintendo, even though they don't have a whole lot to do with it other than licensing the characters pretty much. It's on Android and iOS, and it's been sending Nintendo's stock price through the roof pretty much. This, according to Google Finance, it was trading at close yesterday at $33.38 per share. That's an increase of $2.38 or 9.28% from the previous day's close, and the stock price has nearly doubled in value since the launch of the game. The game was developed by Niantic, not Nintendo, of course, and published by the Pokemon Company, who, of course, Nintendo has stock in, but and Nintendo, of course, owns some of the rights to the franchise as well. But it's interesting to see that Nintendo's stock is taking off when they don't have a whole lot to do with it. Now, will this trend continue, or will it subside once the newness and novelty of the game has worn off? Well, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. The stock is up in the Japanese version of the stock is up as well, which the Google Finance thing just translates the Japanese currency to the yen to dollars, basically. So in yen, it was 27,780 yen was the close, according to Bloomberg. Pretty interesting. So our final story this week is about a new amiibo reprint, and that is for the Link Super Smash Bros. Amiibo. This is going to be coming out soon, a reissue of it, basically. It's interesting that Nintendo is doing this, since it's still readily available at many major retailers, including Amazon, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, etc. So, and it's even discounted at some of them as well, beyond the original MSRP. So if you've been unable to find one for whatever reason, you'll probably be able to get one in stores in weeks to come. It was issued a new CPSIA filing according to Nintendo's website, so they'll be putting out new versions of that soon. So that will do it for this week on the Ncast Live Weekly Nintendo Podcast. It's a pretty short show this week, but hopefully we'll be back with more news next week for you. We'll just have to wait and see. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/nvideogaming or on Twitter at twitter.com/nvideogames. And you can check us out on the web at nvideogames.com for Nintendo news, screenshots, trailers, and lots more good stuff like that. And don't forget you can subscribe to us here on YouTube. We post videos throughout the week as well as recorded versions of our live streams from Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, we'll be live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with a new episode of Pokemon Fire Red on the Game Boy Advance. And tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be live with another episode of GoldenEye 007 on the N64. So be sure to tune in for those as well. And you can follow us over there on Twitch at twitch.tv/nvideogames to get notifications for when we go live as well. So again, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Game on.